Hi everyone, welcome to my page. I'm Sierra Larson and this is the Sierra Counseling Services YouTube page. This is my first video, so welcome. Also, don't judge me, this is my first video. And I'm so excited to be here and to tell you guys about my practice and also to talk about something I think is so important. And so yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, my name is Sierra Larson. I am the owner, founder, head therapist of Sierra Counseling Services. It's an online 100% telehealth therapy practice serving ages 3 to 30. So kids, teens, and young adults. And it's all online. It's designed with your needs in mind. So all of our sessions are after school hours and completely telehealth because I know how hard it is when you're busy to get kids to sessions. So that's what we do. Today we're gonna actually talk about something a little heavy, but I wanted to talk about it because it's so important. It's actually, the month is Suicide Awareness Month. And so I wanted to talk about suicide and basically what to do if you or someone you know is feeling suicidal. So yeah, a little bit heavier stuff for today, but I think it's important. So we're gonna dive into it. So real quick, I just wanna disclaimer, if there's any triggers or anything, go ahead and stop the video. But I feel like a lot of people, when they hear the word suicide, get really uncomfortable, and rightly so. And I think one of the reasons that they get so uncomfortable is because they're not quite sure how to handle it if someone is feeling suicidal. So one of the things I want to show you guys today and talk about is the Colombia screener. And this is actually really cool. It's a series of questions that you can ask a person if they are appearing to be suicidal. They're making comments about, maybe I don't feel like myself. I feel like the world's better off without me. I feel like my family's better off without me. Things that you're kind of like, ooh, that didn't sound like their normal self. And so things that you can ask to follow up with that person to see, are they actually considering suicide, or are they, just kind of venting or feeling sad, or just not just depressed, but depressed. So I want to show you guys the website. Okay, so this is the website, the Colombia Lighthouse Project. And so there are trainings that you can take. So first of all, this originally was for like community workers and things like that, like therapists and community service people, such as like intake triage for hospitals, therapists, police officers, things like that. But it's actually also adapted for friends and family. So here you can see like all of the ways you can use it. So I'm gonna actually click on the Colombia Protocol for Friends and Family. So like it says, the Colombia Protocol is for everyone. If you go down here, so you can use this, you can actually print these out. So use them for spouses, friends and family, community for teens. So if you work with teens like I do, you can click there. So we're actually gonna click friends and family because I really want this to be applicable for everyone. So ask, care, embrace for friends and family. So these are the questions. So sorry, no thanks. Okay, so these are the questions. So right here is the time frame. And it says in the past month. And so the first question that you can ask is, in the past month, have you wished you were dead or wished you could go to sleep and not wake up? And the second question, have you actually had any thoughts about killing yourself? So those are the first two questions. So when you ask those first two questions, you're just kind of seeing, where they're at. If they say yes to number 2, go to answer 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, if they do say yes to 1 and 2, then you're going to ask 3, 4, 5, and 6. If they say no to 2, go directly to 6. And so number 3 is, have you thought about how you might do this? So this is assessing for a plan. Assess for means, access, and a plan. So just to make that easy to remember, it's MAP, M-A-P, means, access, plan. So have you thought about how you might do this is assessing for a plan. And you can see on this side, the colors mean like at risk, medium risk, like high risk. And so that's when you can see like how high of a risk that person is. Have you had any intention of acting on these thoughts of killing yourself, as opposed to you have the thoughts, but you definitely would not act on them? So sometimes you have thoughts and you're just kind of like, oh, I shouldn't think that way, or I don't really want to kill myself. I'm just kind of thinking about it, as opposed to someone that is saying, no, I intend on doing that. So they have that intention, which you want to assess for too, just if they are really intending to harm themselves. Have you started to work out or worked out the details of how to kill yourself? Did you intend to carry out this plan? So things of that nature are like just planning, without getting too graphic, but planning how they would do it, when they would do it, where they would do it, just kind of those details. You want to see if they're really thinking about those things. And then number 6, have you done anything, started to do anything, or prepared to do anything to end your life? So examples of this are collected pills, obtained a gun, gave away your valuables, wrote a will or a suicide note, held a gun but changed your mind, cut yourself, tried to hang yourself, etc. Or so anything that actually you put that plan into or they put that plan into motion. So have they collected things or and actually just put action to the plan? So that's actually you want to ask in their lifetime or in the past 3 months, so that we can assess for that risk. So you ask these questions. Say, unfortunately, we have a high risk person. They've answered yes to all of these questions. What do we do? So the first thing is, you're not going to leave them alone. You're going to stick with them. And at the bottom of this card, it tells you to, if it's an answer to yes to 4, 5, and 6, seek immediate help. And so go to the emergency room, call this number. You can also text the number if you're not comfortable. Call 911. If you call 911, just let them know that you're with someone that is actively suicidal. Let them know if the area is safe, that it's safe for them to come, and make sure you stay with them. And just a caveat, like if they are actively suicidal, I wouldn't suggest, if they're actively suicidal in that moment, I wouldn't suggest driving them yourself to the emergency room unless they can commit to safety, or you're trained or anything. I would just say be careful with that. So that's just kind of my caveat. I can't say one way or another. I wouldn't. I would say that I wouldn't drive someone who is actively suicidal to the emergency room if they are currently like in the act of trying to kill themselves. That's just a safety issue. You're better off either calling 911 and getting an ambulance, or having a police officer drive them to the hospital. So then just a little bit about the hospital. The hospital, we bring them there to get additional help so that they're able to kind of remove themselves from the situation. They're going to safety plan. They're going to stabilize. They're going to stabilize medically and psychologically. And so those are some of the things that you can expect from getting that help. And a lot of times it's really helpful to just kind of get out of that situation and some of the stressors of life, and really just work on healing mentally. Also, what they will do is connect you to services. So if you do not have a therapist, if you don't have resources, a lot of times in the hospital they'll connect you to a lot of those resources that you can utilize throughout life, and they might do like a step down program. So the teens that I work with a lot of times will come from an intensive outpatient program and come to me for different kinds of therapy. Usually if they're coming from an intensive outpatient program, they might be utilizing the DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy program, which is really good for suicidal ideation, self-harming, and that's something that I'm trained in. So you would go from hospital sometimes either to an intensive outpatient, or from the hospital to a regular outpatient. And I do regular outpatient work. And then I think that after a suicide attempt, things like that, or coming from the hospital, that DBT is actually the best service to go with, or the best intervention, just because it's going to teach you how to handle a lot of things that come up in life and help you live a life worth living. So I'm actually going to do another video about DBT, how DBT helps, how DBT can help you if you're feeling suicidal, those kinds of things. So video helped. If I missed something, if I left something out, leave me a comment and let me know if this was helpful. If this was absolutely not helpful, let me know. I just wanted to make sure that I feel like people can get really uncomfortable when we talk about suicide, and I wanted people to be able to know what to do, so that if anything, heaven forbid, did happen, they knew they did everything they could, and they knew that they knew how to help. So it is really uncomfortable. I'm going to validate that. It is very uncomfortable to have to ask these questions, but asking these questions could save a life, and empowers you to help friends and family who are feeling suicidal to be able to intervene. And that's really what we want to do, is we want to intervene. We want to get them services. We want to give them support and refer them to the next level of care, so that they are able to have the skills to tolerate life. So yeah, so again, I'm Sierra Larson. This is Sierra Counseling Services. I hope this video again was helpful. If you or someone you know are in need of therapy services, again, you can go to my website at sierracounselingservices.scs.com and book with me if you live in the state of Illinois. If you don't, reach out. If you need someone, I'll help you find someone. That's not a problem. I can help you find someone in your state. So like, comment, share, just so that we can help more people. That's really what it's about. And yeah, so hope you guys have a great day. Take a deep breath, because this was heavy, and go out and save a life today.